sad day, it really is. I'm coming to the end of my list. What the hell am I going to do now? Hello everyone, welcome to Never Seen, where I have never seen something, I then watch it, and when we talk about it, because that's content. Today, we bow our heads and pray, because this is the final chapter. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video when I first started stumbling back into making videos, because last year was just a mess. Mentally, I was drained a lot of the time, I just didn't want to do anything, so I even stopped this channel. But I came back, and since then I've been very consistent and very proud of myself for being so consistent. And in one of the first videos when I came back, finishing off Rejected Part 2, was horror movies I have never seen, where I looked through a list of horror movies and picked out which ones I had seen and which ones I hadn't. Which then inspired me to do this series, where I then watch the films on that list that I haven't seen before and then talk about them. Just watch more movies. I would actually advise you make your challenge as well, because if you haven't watched a film and you love watching movies, it is a great way to find out what movies you haven't watched to then go back and to watch them over. Win-win. But in this one, it comes at night. Now I have seen this trailer when it was first released. I thought it looked intense. Never got around to watching it. Never in cinema, never a big boost about it, never a big ooh, this film's great, so never caught my attention after the trailer, so didn't end up watching it. So watching the trailer again, I actually think this film looks good. It's another one by the look of it where you got two families there in a house, there's this thing going on outside, this virus, this plague, whatever, and they've got to stay inside, and then oh no, there's a mystery, one of these families is not real, or they're pretend, or they're whatever. When it comes to these films, there's too many of them these days. Oh, they're trapped. Oh, they're in a confined space. Oh, they can't do anything. What are they going to do? It's playing on the psyche. Blah, blah, blah. So I need something to invest in, something new, something interesting. But we've got It Comes That Night to watch. So let's get the popcorn ready. Let's get the green screen up, because I have never seen It Comes at Night. Until now. And your granddad's dead. Must have been serious. Oh. Uh-oh. That's some bad news. Oopsie doopsies. Okay. It Comes at Night. You were doing really well. And by that I mean the story. The story was great. Pacing was good. Filmed well. But if you go back and watch my Bunnyman review, you'll learn that I hate aspect ratios changing. So I'm watching this, and I think it's like, ooh, is it a nightmare bit? Is it changing when he's in a nightmare and it goes back to normal? Which I think it kind of did. I don't like it. I don't like aspect ratio changing. It makes me feel weird. I don't like aspect ratio changing. It makes me feel weird. It takes me out of the film, because I'm then sat there going, is the aspect ratio changing? What have they done that for? Bastards. You know, it's unfortunate that that has to take away from the film, but it does. For me, at least. I don't know about you. Does aspect ratio affect you? I don't know. You tell me. Comments. But no, this film was interesting. I did like it. They don't tell you what the horror is. They just tell you it's this virus, this plague going around. It Comes at Night. What does? That title would assume that it's like a creature. But it wasn't. It was a virus. It was a plague. Or maybe it's the infected. They come at night. You know, it's weird. It did look good. I even took notes while watching the film, which I rarely do. At the start, your granddad's dead. Bingo. It was at 11 minutes into the film, that's when I noticed the aspect ratio changing, and I think it is from being awake to nightmare. But then at the end of the film, it goes again. But I think that's to symbolise that his nightmare has become a reality. His worst ever nightmare is now real. Because it also does with the music. The music that you hear in the nightmares comes through at the end to symbolise it's his worst nightmare come true. Which I do enjoy. To be fair, that was good. But not the aspect ratio. No. Then you've got the mixing of the two families, Whoopi, and then you've got the son. You know, he's 17, he's young, he's hormonal. He wants to fuck the other guy's wife. Which is cool. And it's made all the better because at one point in the film, he just pokes a look at her titties. He's just like, titties. And then the whole dog disappearing, then the dog comes back, but the door was open, so who opened the door? And you can actually count which moments that everyone becomes infected. The kids open the door by hearing the dog. He then goes to sleep in another person's room. He is infected. The 17-year-old finds the kid asleep, thinks he's sleepwalking, takes him back to the room. He's now infected. As the little boy climbs to bed with his parents, they're now infected. As the 17-year-old boy goes around the house, he notices the doors open, runs to his parents, he touches them, they're infected. From that moment on, they're all fucked. But you have to look at it once you finish watching it. You don't realise that until. So when they're fighting at the end, I'm trying to save my family. No man, mate, you're dead. You're already fucked. 17-year-old boy says, if they're infected, I'm infected. If it was their son, I've touched their son, I'm infected too. And by that realisation, they know they're infected as well. And it's beautiful when you start noticing small details, like at the start of the film when the granddad dies, the mum and dad, they're in the mask, they're wearing the protective stuff to say goodbye to him. And by the end of it, when their son's dying and he's infected, they're not wearing gloves, they're not wearing masks, because they know we've got it. I don't know if that's supposed to symbolise that their idea of we have nothing to live for anymore, so I'm not going to bother with the masks. Or they realise we've already touched him, we know we're infected too. But that's it. Never Seen is finished. I know I did the comic book movies I've never seen and the Disney films I've never seen, but no, that's it. All done. I don't know, I still reckon there's horror films I haven't watched. Okay. What the? Huh. Horror and cult. A lot of cult films are horror too. I think that's over 100 videos coming your way. Never Seen is never finishing. Until I've seen every film, until I've completed film, we're going to carry on with Never Seen. Like the video if you enjoyed, comment down below if you have any suggestions of horror films you want to see, or if you know what these boards are and the posters are, pick one of the films and let me know. I might have watched it, I might not have, let me know. Thanks for watching, but my name's been ALynch, and I had never seen It Comes at Night. Until now. Missing someone with